So I'm just getting home from a happy hour in the West Loop, and every single black man we saw tonight, we saw like 10 plus men. Every single last one of them was with a non-black woman, like every single one. And I wasn't gonna bring it up until we got to the second bar, and my friend who I'm with, black man from Atlanta, he was like, what is going on? Like, where are we?
Asian, Latina? No, but white girls is on.
Yo, I finally see why black men love them snow bunnies, cause them bitches gonna treat you like a king, bro. They don't care if you look dusty, don't got a job, don't got a house, don't got a crib. Them bitches still gonna love you regardless.
My son is in love with white women. Yep, I said it. And the crazy part about it is he only 10 years old. Yes, 10 years old.
Black men, without blaming black women, what is the reason for you exclusively dating outside of your race? And just so we clear, this is no critique or criticism towards interracial dating. I'm merely asking the question about why certain people only like to date outside their race. Black men, without blaming black women, why do you exclusively date outside of your race? Questions that need answers.
Why are many black men choosing white women? Hi everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered for You Stories. So today we are diving into this hot topic. But before we start, I want to make one thing absolutely clear. This video is not about attacking anyone, defending anyone, or creating division. My goal is to respond to ideas, claims, and experiences that people share online. So relationships are complex. Race is complex. Social dynamics are also complex. And when TikTok tries to simplify these things into a few clips, you already know it gets heated. I'm going to react to these TikToks, break down the argument, maybe challenge some stereotypes, and offer some perspective according to history, culture, and real world context. So this is a conversation, not a battlefield. And before we jump into it, make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already, and give your thoughts in the comments. So let's get into it.
Priorities. I would argue the reason black men marry white women is because they wish they were white themselves, and having the white man's prize, his queen, is a psychological symbol to myself that I am equal to him. So you can't be in love with white women and not at the same time feel inferior to white males.
You know, it's interesting. I like what you said about it is a political
You can't
decision.
separate love from politics. Love is the most political thing, just like we try to separate religion.
So do you feel like
I used to date nothing but white girls in high school because I remember being told I was blackest and ugly by black girls. So then when I dated the white girls, you know what they told me? I was a sellout for dating the white girls. But hold on, the white girl told me my skin color was pretty. It looked like chocolate to her. To you, it was ugly and it looked dirty. And you black like me. Then I got to college. I said, okay, I found black women attractive. There was a whole lot of them downtown Atlanta. So I remember walking up to this black girl who was walking at little 5 points. I walked behind her and I said, excuse me, miss, because I thought I could talk to black girls the way I talk to white girls. Be really nice and friendly and cordial to them. I said, excuse me, miss. She didn't say anything. I thought, she must couldn't hear me. I said, excuse me, miss. She stopped, turned around and did me like this. I know you didn't, and walked off.
So I've seen a bunch of videos of like people trying to figure out why so many black men date white women. And you've seen those men talking about, I date white women because black women's attitude or whatever kind of stupid shit they want to talk about. But there's only actually one real answer for this. And let me explain to you. Let me tell y'all what it is. A lot of black men date white women because there's more of them. We're men. We don't have standards. We like who like us. For example, let's say a woman, right? You take a woman and you put her in a room full of 100 men that will definitely sleep with her. And if none of those men are her type, she won't sleep with any of them. You take a man, put him in a room full of 100 women. And if none of those, and all those women will sleep with him, if none of those women are his type, he's going to sleep with all of them. You take the most racist white man you've ever seen in your entire life and drop him in a tribe in Africa. In 3 years, he will come out with mixed kids. The US population, 7.8% is black women, 30% are white women, which means you're a little more than 4 times more likely to run into a white woman than a black woman in the United States. And then if you want to add, a lot of black people tend to live in certain areas. Like, y'all have given men way too much credit about why they date certain type of women. They date those women because that's the women they can get. Like, men for real, and I know I'm generalizing, but I feel like this is the one time where it's okay. Men really don't have standards like that. If you're pretty and you're a girl, with men, you got a shot.
Talk to me about dating white women or just white women and black men.
Don't nobody love a nigga that come from a single parent home with his bullshit and flaws like a white woman who really love niggas. See, the black woman, when she realize mama right, she ain't gonna let you come in and run her household, cause her mama done already warned her about you nigga. So most black women left mama's house and disappointed mama with the type of man mama warned her about. So she ain't never going back to mama's house. She gonna stay on her own. White women are willing to lose inheritance to stay with a nigga. Family be ready to disown them. Daddy be ready to disown them. The black woman ain't finna lose her Section 8 for your ass, let alone her inheritance. So when you find something across the railroad track that's opposite of you and it really love you, you know what it took to love you, nigga. It's easy for a black woman to love you.
Somebody please tell Dr. Umar Johnson that black men in the UK are not going to be listening to his advice or his way of life when he's telling them to stay away from white women and to stick to black women. That is not going to happen. Black men in the UK are heavily dependent on the economic security that white women provide. Black men in the UK get into relationships with women. I'm talking about adult men, not teenagers who still live at their mum's house and don't have life pressures on them. I'm talking about adult black men in the UK get into relationships with women to find a place to live for free and to find a place where they haven't got to pay bills. That's why black men in the UK are in relationships with white women on mass amounts, on mass levels. Because white women will lie and do benefits fraud to basically allow her man to live with her for very long periods of time, 10, 15, 20 years, where he doesn't have to pay any bills and he doesn't have any big financial commitments. Black women are not having it. I'm telling you, as somebody that's been with black gal after black gal after black, bro, I've been in relationships. My relationships have all been with black women. They're not allowed. They cannot respect a man. They cannot respect a black man. They cannot consistently have sex with a black man. They cannot love a black man. They cannot talk to a black man nicely. If he's had to move into her life and she's had to provide security for him, it will run out very quickly. He won't get longer than 12 months in that kind of situation. So when Dr. Umar Johnson is saying to black men, you need to stick with black women, he needs to go beneath the layer and start talking about black men's mentality and black men's attitude towards economics and towards family economics, basically. Man, them get money, they buy loads of trainers, they buy loads of designer clothes, they go on holidays, they go to restaurants, they rent cars, they finance cars, they cheat on their girls by booking hotels and all of that. They spend their money like that, but they ain't spending no money on owning, possessing and maintaining a house in the UK. And because they're not doing that, they need white women. Do you understand what I mean? So I go on American social media. I follow a lot of black content creators in America, and I realized that a lot of black men in America, I don't know about in New York or in LA, but a lot of black men in different parts of America have houses, bro. That's part of their pride as a man, as it should be, to have your own house, to maintain your own house, and to fall in love with a woman that can walk into your security and you can provide for her and she doesn't have to worry about paying bills or how the house is maintained. That's what a lot of black men in America are on. In the UK, you must be joking. Black men are not on that. No way.
Get mad at me for dating outside my race, but I was dating outside of my race because they was doing things better than my race. I'm gonna keep it 100. My Spanish, better. Well, not better, because I know where she getting ready to go. Not better.
I know you said they were doing things better. I wanted to know what better meant.
Not better. I'm gonna change that.
I'm trying to save you for the people, for the culture.
Not better for the culture.
There we go.
Right, not better. I was dating Puerto Rican. I was dating Dominican. I was dating African. I was dating all type of other really size American black. Right? They were doing way more of what we expect we want our woman to do more than our American. Our American got real comfortable with...
Give me some examples.
Oh, man. I mean, their mannerisms are different. Like even my Indian one was from one of them countries over there, right? I didn't have to really say much to do and be treated like a king. You see what I'm saying? A lot of times with our own American black, they expect so much of us and what we're supposed to do. Like things like, if we go out and eat and we just have a nice dinner, we can go anywhere and eat and get a nice dinner. It had to be Ruth Chris, or it had to be this, that, or it had to be this, that. Then I get somebody that's just as fine, a Cuban or a Colombian. They don't care about nothing. They care about you and your household. Even though they still care about the money, but it's not about the money.
Right.
You understand what I'm trying to say? It's a difference. Not better, but sometimes we get tired of hearing, Birkin bags, sushi.
Do you think that's fair? Because I feel like there's a certain type of woman that does demand that. And to me, I think it depends on the bait you're using and where you're looking. If you're going to go get a model from Instagram that got the BBL, the snatched in stomach, and has all the things that check off money hungry and surface, you're going to get that. If you're going to meet a girl and through different ways and ask different questions, you're going to find that out a lot earlier on, that what's important to her.
I'm not doubting that, but I'm just talking about even if you look on just a regular dating app and just look at what a woman may state that she requires.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm saying these things because it feels as if social media again is the barometer. Okay, and it's the comparison, and when you're comparing yourself to all these other women, and of course, even with the BBLs, because I'm like, that's fine, but I mean,
what's BBL? I'm sorry.
Brazilian butt lift.
Oh, okay.
And it's no shade to women that have them. I'm just saying.
I was wondering. I was waiting for it too. I'm like, excuse me.
And there's no shade to everyone that has them. I'm just saying, if you're going by just surface things and that's who you're going afterwards, then guess what? She gonna run them pockets.
No, and I'm not, and I want to get your thoughts.
I'm gonna stop before we play the rest of this video here. The gentleman with the blue shirt on with the denim outfit, that is Gravy, aka Jamal Woolard, who used to be signed to Warner Brothers, I believe. He played Biggie in Notorious. He's now a to-be movie star, if you will, doing a bunch of movies. So he's transitioned completely to that from rapping. And he's not saying anything that a lot of brothers haven't said already. When you date women of other ethnicities, other races other than Black American women, it's like easier. They're more agreeable. They're more cooperative, more submissive. It's not all about what you can do for her, even though the Western or the ways of the Black American woman is very influential and is spreading throughout the world, where women are copying what it is that they're doing, which is crazy. But fellas find it's an easier time. They're shocked a lot of times about that. They don't have to go through the BS. They don't have to go through you have to pay to be in a relationship with me, which is in essence what it boils down to, which is unfortunate. And on the dating apps, a lot of women are presenting themselves, you need to have this, you need to do this, and this. Man, listen, dating shouldn't be hard. Dating a woman shouldn't be hard. If a woman makes it difficult for you, man, peace out, bro. Peace out. Let's get back to it, though.
Doc, and as well, Amy, as a woman dating or even considering, I think that a lot of times, you know, we do value women, but when you talk about Black relationships, I think we all come with some baggage. All right. Now, some of us have some baggage that's not going to fit in the overhead compartment. And some of us have some baggage that you're going to have to pay a whole lot more for to get on this flight. Right. But the reality of it is that's just who we are. And I'm talking about historic. Like if you're talking about being enslaved, where we were and how we engage each other, there's a lot of elements there. But it can be a little difficult because women have expectations in 2021 that they're watching, and they're very material expectations. I agree with you, Claudia, but I'm simply saying that
not all of them are material.
And I'm not trying to generalize.
It's just
women.
Most of the time it's pointing to American women are more material.
And it's America as a society.
Not better.
Let's bring spirit. Let's bring spirit into this.
And I gave you the space to even edit the better part, right? So since the beginning of time, and even in the Bible, it's better to live on the corner of your house or the roof of your house than be in a house with a quarrelsome woman. So even God knows, Jesus knows, women should shut up and listen to the man.
That's what you
think.
They
shouldn't be talking.
That's why black men will go for the white women. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's why the black man will go for the white women.
It's in history books. It's in the
That's
oldest
why the
text.
black man will go for the white women. Is what I'm saying to you.
It is not your place.
Because a white woman would shut the fuck up, and that's what I'm saying to you.
I have a question for you. What? Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, but what? That doesn't, like, you're saying something, but it doesn't prove anything. You're like making.
What you're saying doesn't prove anything.
No, what it proves is that the reason why I'm just going with your logic,
we could probably look at statistics, or someone could do a study on that.
Real quick, let me just finish my point from what she said. Look,
okay,
you're just saying that, like, you saying that, well, that's the reason why black men are choosing white women because because white women are more submissive.
Yes.
So the black man is not an L for the black man, it's the L for the black women, because y'all not getting any successful black men. So you're saying it like it's an L for the black man. No, all men, we want a feminine and submissive woman.
There are black women that are submissive.
There are many feminine. In all races. There are many women that's feminine and submissive.
You have to bring that out of them. You can't be.
So real quick, right? Let's just use that same logic. So you have to get me to be feminine and submissive. That's what you're saying as a black woman. Now, you want a masculine man, right?
Right.
What if I said to you, you have to get me to be masculine. Before you get me to be masculine, I'm going to act feminine.
You should be masculine.
I should already be masculine.
Man.
So, guys, let's just go ahead. Let's go ahead and reverse it. You should automatically be feminine. Listen, real quick. You should automatically be feminine and submissive as a woman, and not have no man should have to get that out of you.
I shouldn't say anything.
But a lot of the times when you are dealing with, or when you see a successful black man as a black woman, you're looking like, oh wow, like he's a successful black man. You see black men all the time, but sometimes it's hard to come by a successful black man. So you have somebody that is a football player, and it's like, damn, why wasn't that me? I feel like that's how a lot of them is looking like. And I'm not saying me like me.
I know what you mean.
You know,
it's because they want to cause chicks like Red over there that just don't want to listen. I want to argue back and forth and stuff like that. Because they're all black women like that. They don't want to listen. They want to do.
That's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was saying earlier.
They're not trying to understand. They want to fight
Black
you.
women just want you to understand their point of view. Black women want you to see what they are going through, and black men just don't want to deal with that shit.
No, the thing is, all women want that. The white woman wants that too, but the white woman just knows her place.
Is that what it is?
She just knows her place by a man's side. She knows her place. She may feel these things, right? But she's expressing it much differently than the black woman. From your worldview, that's what you're saying. You're saying that, well, white women tend to be like more, feminine, and let the black man kind of get away with what he want to do. Mm-hmm. But the black woman, she's more expressive and wants to express her opinion and how she feels. The thing is, both women want to do it. They all women, you have emotions, you have feelings. You definitely want to express yourself. The thing is, a submissive feminine woman, she just does it with grace, or she does it in a way where it's feminine, or she just knows when not to speak. Like, everything don't have to be spoken about. You don't always have to give your opinion or your perspective on things. You could just follow your man's lead.
And if you don't trust them to lead you, then why are you with them?
Nah, facts.
As a college athlete, it is almost impossible to date a black woman, and the reasoning is very simple. Y'all are overthinking it. As you can see, these are my qualifications. I remember when I first got here, I was talking to my teammate, and I was like, bro, where are all the black women at? And he's like, oh, like, you looking to date one? I was like, yeah, I guess. And he was like, you're never going to find one. And he explained to me what I'm about to explain to you. You do remember what the PW and PWI stands for, right? These schools are at least 60% white and around 6% black. So let's say you had 50,000 people at your school. That would make 3,000 of them black, and half those probably men. So 1,500 black women go to your school. You're never going to meet at least half of them, like just never going to see them, okay? So that's 750 black women that go to your school that you might meet. Now, mind you, if you do the same math with white women, there's 7,500 white women, okay? So let's say you just happen to romantically get involved with one for any period of time. Could be a one-night stand, could be anything. How many black women are okay with dating a man who's messed with white women before? Not as much as you like, okay? So that takes off about 250, okay? So now we're at 500. I know what you're thinking, Bryce, but what if I never mess with a white woman? If you're a college athlete, because of this stigma, they will assume that you did and not mess with you anyway. Oh yeah, and speaking of stigma, there's that narrative where it's college athletes are dirty and they just sleep around all the time. So probably about 100 of them are gonna think you're the Human Torch and not want to touch you, okay? That's 400. Oh yeah, and another 100 probably think you're unintelligent, and that's of course not a desirable quality. And then another 100 don't want to deal with the attention that you'd probably get from other women regardless of whether or not you're dating. That's 200. I know a lot of people feel like college athletes have their pick of the litter, and it's like they do, but they don't. Let's take that 200 and be real generous and say you're not compatible with only half of them, okay? So you have 100 left. And let's be even more generous and say that 25 of those aren't attracted to you and 25 of them you aren't attracted to. 50. And I guarantee you that 50 is at most 6 friend groups. And hold up, my bad. At least 10 of those are probably in relationships already. So never mind, you got 40. I'm telling you, the thing about those friend groups, word travels fast, okay? So you have a negative interaction with, say 2 of those 40, okay? You're probably cutting off at least 20 of those. And of that 20, you probably have 5, because I guarantee you they told their friends that they're into you, so you're already claimed, okay? You can't get any of the other friends. So there's a total of 5 black women, and again, this is me being generous, that you could possibly date on your campus. And mind you, these thousands of white women are throwing themselves on you. They are very deliberate in positioning themselves for you, okay? Remember, a lot of these people probably never even seen a black guy before. As a college athlete, the only way you can avoid ever being romantically involved with a white woman is if you purposefully avoid it. And if someone genuinely doesn't discriminate, that's not really fair to ask of them, is it? And the thing is, this is not just a black athlete thing. Like, this is a black guy PWI thing. The only reason you're also focused on these athletes is because you see them everywhere. All these narratives y'all trying to push where it's like, oh, he hates himself, or oh, you know, white women are just more dateable for the college athlete. No, that's BS. It's literally just a numbers game that white women are going to win every time. And it is not a suburb versus hood thing, okay? I know dudes from the hood, they got to college, instantly became milkmen. I know guys from the suburbs who they have not touched a white woman since they got here. I can't believe y'all really care about this. Like, one of my former teammates got drafted in the first round the other night, all right? Best day of his life for like him and his family, great. But all y'all can talk about is, oh, well, why you got that white woman there? Why you got that white woman there? If y'all don't shut up and make some drums, like, y'all getting the mew of shame.
Why do black men date white women, in your opinion? Just be honest. Is it because they're more easy? And I say that.
How you gonna say they're more easy?
I'm asking. I say quote unquote.
It's a lot of different reasons.
Okay.
I think this is just my opinion.
Right, no doubt.
These just like my observations and the things that I've seen.
Okay.
White women make themselves more available.
In what ways?
They be around. They show up. Yeah. They know where the athlete's gonna be at.
Right. I have heard that.
Pop. And then with the athletes and all that shit, like, you got to keep in mind, it's like tiers to the like college, and then like the professional and shit like that. They hang around they linger.
That's what Too Short said.
They'll watch you strike out all night, and it don't affect your chances with them or nothing. They want to be down, so they make themselves more available to the shit, as opposed to playing hard to get, act like you don't know this motherfucker. They be knowing. They know the stats.
Yeah. Why black men date white women? It's very simple. A lot of white women are more open than black women. And what do I mean by that? Not all, but a lot of black women have too many restrictions. What do I mean by that? Y'all disqualification list is ridiculous. And before I break that down, let me state the obvious to save y'all the comments. Yes, there's a woman like that in every race, but black women are mostly known for it. And to get this information that I'm talking about, all you gotta do is just listen to what black women say that they don't like in a man. And I came to this conclusion from watching an interview with Carlos Miller. He was on a podcast called Poor Minds, and they had 2 black women hosts on there. And one of the black women said, I can't date a man who has TikTok. The other black woman says, I don't mind if he have a TikTok. I can't date a man who dances on TikTok. And this is where I use me as an example, because I have a TikTok. And I also post dancing content on TikTok. Not the trended dances, but I'm an actual dancer. And I'm disqualified because I have a TikTok. And now I'm disqualified because I post dancing content. And mind you, these 2 women look good. Like, they fine. Like, they look good. To disqualify means something inappropriate. So I thought. And mind you, I'm using me as an example. I've also heard women say, I can't date a man who watches anime or cartoons. I even seen a black woman say, I can't date a man who's a good father. Not every black man is a street dude. And then when we say this, y'all say, oh, I don't even like street dudes. But somehow, y'all end up pregnant by Ray Ray or Daquan from the streets. Then, on the other hand, you have Sarah over here who's encouraging him to be a good father. Or Becky, who makes food and have your favorite anime or cartoon on standby. Or Lisa, who's encouraging you to get on TikTok and post those dancing videos. All I'm saying is you can't have all these restrictions and disqualifications and then complain that black men aren't coming to you or choosing you. They're choosing white women. You know what that's like when a black man hears all those restrictions and disqualifications? I can't be myself around you. And like I said, it's not all black women, but most. And I say most because when y'all say these things, y'all think we don't look at the comments to see all the other black women agreeing with y'all? Y'all disqualify black men for things that bring them peace, which is fine. But we're going to go over here where it's accepted.
The reason why black athletes choose white women to be their wives is because the majority of black women view marriage as slavery. Like, imagine playing for Miami Dolphins in Miami where the weather's always good. Your wife's able to go wherever she wants, no matter what. Bunch of restaurants, bars, yachts, being out on the water, doing everything like living the Miami life. And then you have a bad season and you get traded to the Minnesota Vikings. How is a black man going to explain to his black independent wife that, hey, baby, we got to leave in 3 days to Minnesota? The first thing out of her mouth's going to be like, I ain't get traded. Well, I got to move. I'm your wife, not a slave. I don't have to go wherever you go. I'm living it up in Miami. Imagine that. And then the white women that actually want to be married and serve their husbands and not view it as slavery will automatically be like, okay, when we got to pack. If y'all stop viewing marriage as slavery and doing things for your husband as controlling, then maybe a lot of you black women will get married to more black athletes.
So why are black men flocking to white women? Oh, nobody wants to talk about that, so let me address it. First, it's the trauma, but it was actually love. Many of us grew up around our grandmothers. We grew up around our aunts that loved us through survival mode. They would come home and had to deal with us. They would come home exhausted, pained, and because of all of that, we never looked at it as love. We just thought it was trauma. They just did the best that they can do. And so here you have a mother that would give discipline before she gave affection. So they would raise their voices at us. They would be raw with it. The tempers would flare. And so you got commands before you got comfort. And so a lot of black men are still dealing with that. So then the reason that they flock to the white women, some misconstrued, but the reason that they flock to the white women because they equate peace with being the white women are smiling. They're softer. They're not argumentative. They're not coming back at them with anything. They're not correcting them. They're not checking them. But what they don't realize is just, it's not peace. It's just different pain dressed up in quietness. So in actuality, all he's doing is really decompressing from his childhood. And what black men don't realize is that they're really not running to white women. They're actually running from the women that remind them of their aunts, that remind them of their grandmother, that remind them of their mother, that remind them of their sister's struggle. So they're not really choosing peace. They're just choosing escape. And they're choosing anything that will make them feel dominant. Yeah, that's all they're doing. They just want to feel dominant. They'll say, oh, she doesn't fight me. But all that means is that she doesn't challenge me. They'll say, oh, she doesn't let me lead. But all that's saying is that she just doesn't hold me accountable. It's like they mistake compliance for care. And underneath is the ugliness. There's an anti-blackness where they say that whiteness means peace and blackness means struggle. But when that fantasy dies and the wounds resurface, they realize that it was never about the woman. It was just about the little boy who never really got any rest.
I'm a black man who's bisexual, so if I end up with a white wife, it's okay, because a black woman's deepest fear is a secret gay husband.
If you are a bisexual man that has felt unsafe and ridiculed by your community, and you have felt some safety somewhere else, I ain't mad at you in an interracial relationship.
Okay.
There's two issues here. The rhetoric that black men are hearing and receiving about bi and DL and black women, and how the public would make them feel to want to be with a man like that, and how they view black men. So if white women will accept you in your sexuality, take it.
I hate to make this a problem with black men yet again. He is acting in the same way as the passport bros. I do think that they're stereotyping black women, because I'm aware of many black women, of course, being in lifestyle, that are accepting of a bisexual man.
You know why, you know?
And I get that that's why I know them.
But no, but it's true, Mandy. There's people that have never met someone trans. There's people that have never met someone in a throuple. Dog, we're talking from a different place. The rest of the world,
I never see any other race do that.
The reason so many black men are dating outside of their race is because they feel trapped by stereotypes. In the black community, black men are expected to be stoic and dominant. And the moment vulnerability enters the chat, it is often punished or ridiculed. Black men are tired of being judged for how much money they make, how masculine they are, or whether they fit your idea of black love. So then they run and they date someone outside of their race, outside of their culture, which feels like freedom, but that's not freedom, it's escape. And I am not talking about Candy and Tiny in now. Black men, that's not preference, it's programming. And if you ever need another race to validate your worth, you were never free in the first place.
Thank you so much. If you've made it this far, some people are saying it's just a preference. Yeah, preferences are real. People have them for all kinds of reasons, of course. But the question is, where do preferences come from? Sometimes they come from personal experiences. Sometimes your environment shapes who you are around. Sometimes the media influences, and sometimes people develop preferences because of deeper social conditioning that they are not even aware of. Nothing is wrong with interracial dating. The problem only starts when someone says, I prefer this group because the other one is inferior. So if that is where your preference comes from, it is so disrespectful. When someone speaks about an entire group of women using stereotypes, it tells more about their mindset than about the black woman. Strength isn't a flaw, independence isn't a flaw, and confidence itself isn't a flaw. But society, of course, has always labeled black women's qualities as negative because they don't fit into the traditional submissive femininity model that some people expect. So if someone says they date outside their race because all black women act a certain way, that is not a dating preference. That is prejudice disguised as preference. So this one is about those who are saying black women are too strong, so loud and independent. Then most of the men are saying white women treat them better. This point comes up a lot and it needs careful unpacking. Relationships should always be about peace, respect, and mutual understanding. But to generalize behavior based on race is a huge red flag. Sometimes people mistake unfamiliarity for calmness. Sometimes they have only met a small subset of people. And sometimes they have had negative dating experiences and project them onto an entire racial group. And yeah, it's true. Sometimes also people haven't yet healed from their past trauma or rejection. So they rewrite narratives to justify their choices. If you date someone because they genuinely connect with you, that is great. But if you date someone because other people are worse, that is unhealthy. For the historical and social influences, for generations, society has pushed certain beauty standards and relationship ideas. The media used to overwhelmingly highlight white women as the default symbol of beauty. And for black men especially, there is a long historical narrative around interracial relationships being a symbol of status, acceptance, or upward mobility. But that doesn't mean that every interracial relationship is based on that. It's far from it. But ignoring historical patterns means missing the bigger picture. So dating happens in a social context, whether we admit it or not. This is the saying, everyone should date who they want. That is true, and this is one of the points that I really agree with. As long as it's not rooted in hate or stereotypes. Love should be about connection, compatibility, shared values, and mutual respect. Not rebellion, not resentment, not social validation, not internalized bias. So if someone finds happiness with someone of a different race, that's beautiful. If someone feels the need to put down their own race just to justify it, that is the issue. This was a heavy topic, but honestly, it's an important conversation to have. The truth is, Black men do not all think the same. Black women do not all act the same. White women do not all love the same. People are individuals before anything else. So instead of turning dating choices into a cultural war, it makes more sense to ask, are people healing? Are people self-aware? Are people choosing love for the right reasons? Because strong relationships don't come from race. They come from emotional maturity. If you got value from this conversation, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, but please keep it respectful. And make sure to subscribe for more thoughtful reactions and discussions like this one. Thanks for watching, stay blessed, and I will see you in the next video.